I've wanted to play Marnie's Grimmsnarl ever since because, one, I like the Grimmsnarl card. I really do. Second of all, I have a Marnie mat, which I have used to show, for all my cards in my decks. That's really the only Pokemon mat I have. I was looking on the Pokemon store, the Pokemon Center app, and the website, and they had a Garchomp one I really wanted, but I couldn't get it because it was like $30 at the time, and I only had $7, and that I really only used those 7 for the so I can get into my local tournament. I've been also wanting to use Zoroark for a really long time, because if you saw the video where I sorted out all the different decks into what categories I thought they were part of, Zoroark deck, I forgot to mention it, but I think I forgot to. I don't remember, but I think put that in the variety deck, the one where the same one that has Joltik and the Terra Box in it, because you're able to, because even though you're really only using dark energies, unlike in Joltik Box or Terra Box, where you're using like 4 or 5 different energies, you're still using either Darmanitan's attack, which is probably the best attacker, and the Zoroark deck. You're also able to use Reshiram, which is actually pretty good, because you can probably put in it's really good because Reshiram's move is 20 times the amount of damage counters on him, and going against Dragapult's not able to knock you out with this, because I don't think there's anything people put onto Dragapult to boost the damage aside from Defiance Band. But then again, it only goes up to 230, and Zoroark still is 50. Monkey Dory though in Dragapult decks can really help out with that, but people usually have like a couple Dragapults, Jackaloaks, a Budew, or Shaman, and a Monkey Dory, so they're only moving like 30. So even if with all that combined, 30 plus the 30 plus the 200, that's still, Zoroark still lives with 20. So Reshiram is probably one of his best attackers. You also got other cards like Purloin, Joltik even. You even got his Kling Klang, which is actually pretty good. I think it does like 80 times 3 if you get all heads. So pretty good. But I've wanted to use Grimmsnarl because apparently he's a good card. But the deck I saw, I put it into TCG online. I used it, didn't really get me that far. I made a Zoroark Grimmsnarl deck, and for people who on the TCG online, it got probably more wins than the actual one that I copied off of the Limitless TCG, which is I think Tim Franklin's. Again, go follow him. He's an amazing YouTuber. I subscribe to him, I'm pretty sure. If not, I'm gonna go subscribe to him after this. But he is very good. He pretty much is a very good deck builder that can build a deck off of almost any card. I think he also just started getting into the TCG. And if I ever get the chance to meet him, I'm going to see if he can sign my playmat, because I'm probably going to be using that playmat for as long as Grimmsnarl exists. But anyways, I put Grimmsnarl. My main attackers are Grimmsnarl, Zoroark in this deck, but I did put in Darmanitan because he's also able to snipe the bench. I felt like Reshiram would have been good, but he takes fire and electric, because just in case, because grass is like basically this deck's biggest weakness with Zoroark and Grimmsnarl being weak to grass. So I put fire in here for Darmanitan to get rid of the grass types, because Yanmega is coming out pretty big, because I actually built a Joltik deck that has Yanmega in it, but we'll get to that later. We'll get to that in a different video. Anyways, basically I have Zoroark Grimmsnarl and Darmanitan in this deck. Those are the main attackers. But I did put in a couple other cards. For example, I put in a Monkey Dory. Took out Iron Bundle and Budew. But I did put in a Shaman from Destined Rivals, which is probably going to be this deck's biggest weakness. But then again, we do have Monkey Dory. Yeah, Monkey Dory. We have, I think, 2 or 3 of those guys in here, so we're able to move at a minimum 60 damage, which can pretty much knock out Shaman if I'm able to get rid of her. But yeah, I did take out Max Belt or Prime Catcher for Hyper Aroma to get, you know, because my thinking process was, if I go second, or like I go first, right? And then it's my second turn, I can use, Arven. Or since I got Youngster in here, I could use Youngster. Or I could try and test my luck with the Iono guy in here to try and get TM Evolution and Hyper Aroma so that way I can get, on my second turn, I can use Hyper Aroma to get Morgrim, Zoroark, and Darmanitan, evolve all my Pokemon on the bench, and then use TM Evolution to evolve Morgrim into Grimmsnarl, already getting my 3 heavy hitters out. And it actually builds, and with Grimmsnarl, with its ability, I can get Grimmsnarl pretty built up, but I can't get my other cards built up, which is the other card I added in this deck, which I think actually made this deck good. And let me see if I can find it. Some people might know what I probably put in here, but for those who don't know, I put in, 3 copies of Energy Switch in here. Because let's say I'm able to get Grimmsnarl out and I use his ability when it's still my turn. Okay, like I evolve him not with the move of TM Evolution. I evolve him with Spike Muth and Rare Candy maybe, or something like that. I use his ability to get 5 energies, right? I get 2 on, I could get 5 on him, okay? So I got 2 on him already. I have 2 energy switches in my hand. So I'm at maximum. So I can so I can play those 2 energy switches to move 2 energies onto Zoroark, building him up. But if I have all 3 in my hand and I have a Monkey Dory on the bench, I can move 2 to Zoroark and then 1 to Monkey Dory. Literally building up one of every Pokemon in this deck that takes dark energies. And that's actually a pretty good setup, because if I go with my same setup, I have Hyper Aroma. I use Hyper Aroma, but I don't use TM Evolution. I get Darmanitan out with Zoroark and probably the Impidimp at the Morgrim. I wait till my next turn, play Spike Muth Gym or Ultra Ball, or search my deck for an Ultra Ball with Arven, or just something I can get more Grimmsnarl out. I play that. If I have an Energy Switch in hand, I'm able to just move the energies to my other Pokemon, and since Zoroark is such a good draw support, he's a very good draw engine. And since I have 2 in here, I'm able to only discard 2 cards, but then get 4 in return. Investment. But I also do have Super Rod in here, so if I got a Super Rod in my hand, I get rid of energy or a Pokemon, and I get rid of two of either one of those, draw 4 cards, and then I use Super Rod to get those cards back in my deck. So I just drew 4 cards for free. But that wouldn't really be good until I get other cards in my discard pile. So you won't use Super Rod that late into the game. But I do have End's PP up in here, so I get 2 energies, 2 dark energies, and I use Zoroark's ability. I use 2 of those End's PP up cards, put those on Zoroark, now I have 4 cards, and then if I got anything else I want to do, or I got 4 cards from Zoroark with him being built up. So I can use maybe, I don't know, like if I have Monkey Door in the active, I can swap him out, like retreat him. If I have Shaman in the active, I can retreat him. And now, basically this is all getting set up. Now another block I had built in this deck is End Darmanitan, because yes, he's very good. And his main goals be in the back, and be very good. Like, he's basically a backup hitter. This is why I have 4 fire energies in my deck. But if I do need to use him, he takes 3 retreat cost. And if I'm going against a grass deck, for example, if I go against a Dolive, because the Arboliva EX, apparently that's a good deck now. People are apparently someone made that. I go against that. I'm only doing 180 to the active grass and then doing 90 damage to the bench. So they're gonna probably knock me out. But if they don't and they leave me with like 20 because he has 140 health, they do 120 damage to me. Darmanitan has a 3 retreat cost. If I use Flame Body Cannon to get rid of all those energies, I can't retreat him. I have to hopefully get 3 energy on him and 1 turn with Energy Switch, but I'm probably going to be using all those. But one solution I got is having 3 stadiums in this deck. I have 2 Spike Muth gyms and then 1 Ends Castle. Because Spike Muth gym is to basically just get my Grimmsnarls out there. Ends Castle will then be the like end game kind of thing where I'm able to switch back and forth from Zoroark and Darmanitan if I'm able to. Like what I could do is like use Zoroark, get rid of all those energies, and then next turn I thought Darmanitan with all those his energies, I can evolve a Grimmsnarl, use all those energy switches to get back on Zoroark, use the 2 ends PP up cards to get onto Darmanitan, and then for free or for turn I could probably attach an energy to Darmanitan, and then I'm able to attack again with 90 and 90 to the bench. And then because hopefully Ents Castle's still out there, I can retreat back into Zoroark and do the same thing again. And then the next turn, if I'm lucky and Ents Castle's there 4 turns, or 8 turns if you're counting me and my opponent, I can retreat into Grimmsnarl, finish with 180 and 30 to the bench. Basically, this deck is all about attacking the bench, but it also has some cards to get rid of a Shaman, because really, I think people are only using 1 Shaman in every deck. So I got 1 Counter Catcher and 2 Boss's Orders in this deck. So 1 Counter Catcher is able to just get out there if I already used in Supporter. But if I have not used a Supporter this turn, and Boss Order is probably just, something to get rid of Shaman, I can use Shaman to get rid of 90, to hit for 90, or 180, however much, and then hit for either 90 or 30 to the bench. So this deck, I think, it has obstacles, but I think at the beginning, just like any Grimmsnarl deck, every Grimmsnarl deck I've used is pretty blocky all throughout the game. But this deck is pretty blocky in the beginning, but if you're able to use it right, then basically, if you're able to use it right, it's very smooth toward the middle to the end. And yeah, that's kind of what I changed in this deck. I did take out some cards for the other cards, but I think I'm gonna do that this Thursday or this Friday before my local tournament, because I'm going to that. But before I do that, before I end this video, I will be saying, I cannot play. I did pre-order